Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm your host, Adrienne Houghton, and joining me is a very dear friend, Jason Woods, who is an actor, and he has got the most exciting news, which is, if you haven't seen it, the near disaster of Jasper and Casper.
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. At Atlantic Beach, and we're going to find out more about that. So, welcome, Jason.
Thank you. I'm always happy to see you.
Tell me about the show. I know about the show, but tell me about the show so that our viewers know.
Sure. It's a quirky fairy tale about a young man named Jasper who's trying to find his birth family, and he's been adopted by Casper. Not adopted by him, but by Casper's family. Casper is his adopted brother, who happens to think he's the greatest actor in the world. And they encounter a witch. I think you've heard of the witch. Her name is Winifred Isabel Titania Charlotte Higgins. Her initials spell witch. And she...
Not Brenda.
Not Brenda. That's right. She says, can you believe my mother almost called me Brenda? And they encounter a dragon along the way, and a vicious, vicious queen, a Scottish thug. And it's interesting because it's a funny, quirky fairy tale, and then it turns into this this adult story about loss and found family.
Now, you wrote this.
I did.
You wrote it. You're a one-man act. You do everything.
Well, I can't do everything. I was just talking to a lovely person I just met outside, Tom Reber, I think.
Yes.
Who, we were talking about that. It's really a we affair. I happen to be the actor telling the story, acting
All
9
parts.
different characters. I happen to
Yes.
be the writer. I happen to be the composer. But I can't run lights and sound like my good friend Bryce Cofield. And I had to have legion of people to listen to the script. Some of the characters are influenced by people that I've known in my life. Some people have seen the show 7 times and have given me feedback, and I've made changes. I have a wonderful publicist named Jean Bartholomew. And then I come to places like this. In this way, you're part of the show too. And then the audience, because they're watching the show, they're creating the imagery in their minds with me. So I am up there. I am up there by myself. I understand. But I don't believe, truly, I'm not trying to be clever. I don't think there is anything there's no such thing as a one-man show.
Well, they also always say that a one-man show is never one, because there's always a second, and that's the audience.
That's
because
right.
Without the audience, there wouldn't be a show.
That's right. And I think
so there's at least 2.
Peter Brook wrote a wonderful book about, really, for theater, you need light, an actor, and someone to listen.
Yeah. Now, you took this to Off-Broadway.
I did.
Successfully.
Successfully.
Because
yes.
it won awards.
Well, I didn't know you were going to talk about that, but
yes. Come on.
Well, that's a measure of its success. For me, just personally, it was just about the best 30 days in my life. I was just so happy and had a silly grin on my face. I couldn't believe I was there. And I didn't really do the show in 2023. And then I started thinking about the folks who hadn't seen it, and I wanted to be in this world again and share it with folks, because they look very happy when they see the show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
So you say you've got 9 characters.
I do.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, I love Winifred. Winifred, I do love her. She's got a special role that I'll let the audience learn about in the show. She's funny. She's real. I'm kind of enamored with the dragon. But I love them all. I mean, I created them, and there's a little bit of me in all of them.
I was going to say, how did you come up with this concept in the first place?
Oh, you'll love this, I think, because I think you'll know Kenneth Grahame.
Yes.
So I grew up just adoring...
Not personally, but...
Well, I know. Oh, no, not by a long shot. Kenneth Grahame wrote a wonderful children's book called The Wind in the Willows, and he wrote a lovely short story called The Reluctant Dragon. And it was the concept of a young boy speaking to a dragon that could talk to him that birthed my idea. And about 9 years ago, I melded it with the legend of St. George and the Dragon, and that's where I first conceived Winifred. And then I turned it into a show that I could do, and it became something totally different. But its beginnings, I have something for British authors.
Yes.
Charles Dickens, Kenneth Grahame.
Yes, it's true.
J.K. Rowling, Jane
It's
Austen.
true.
Yeah, I
Oh my
love
goodness.
that literature. I'm a bit of an Anglophile. Those all my influences are there. So
We're running out of time.
I know, we always
So,
are.
when and where?
Oh, I'm so happy to be at Adele Grage Cultural Center in Atlantic Beach. This is the original home of All Beaches Experimental Theater. Back then they were Atlantic Beach Experimental Theater.
Yes.
So they have partnered with me to make this possible. They're not in that space anymore, but they've partnered with me to say in association with, and the city of Atlantic Beach has been great. So that's where we're going to be, and it's next Thursday, April 25th at 7:30. Tickets only online in advance, none at the door. And then May 23rd, which is a Thursday,
Yes.
and then June 6th, which is a Thursday.
Magnificent. It's always a pleasure, sir. Your
Thank
next
you.
project, I'm sure we'll talk about in the future.
Yeah, I'm shooting a film. I wrote a screenplay, and it's getting filmed.
Okay, so then you have to come back and tell me about that.
Oh, I have to come back.
Yes.
All right, I'll come back.
Oh, thank you. If you'd like to know any more information about Jason Woods, you can obviously contact us at dailynewsnetwork.com and find out all about the theatre and where you can see this magnificent show. Thank you.